Thanks for tuning in to AX210 News. I'm Danny Hood. Today we're going to take a dive back into history as we look at Rohns Swimming School.
In 1855, a Bohemian man moved from New York to Milwaukee. This man was Julius Rohn. He was a swimming instructor for the Austrian armies. He bought a plot of land by the wooden dam on the Milwaukee River. At the time, the Milwaukee River was 430 feet wide, which is bigger than one football field, and roughly 18 feet deep. In 1856, he turned this plot of land into the nation's first swimming school. Soon after, two other schools formed following in Rohn's footsteps. Mr. Rohn taught many people, such as brewers, professional men, women, and children. He took care of the children, and although he was strict, perhaps due to his military background, the children loved him. They were not to swim untethered unless they could swim alone for 30 minutes by themselves, and they most definitely weren't allowed to try to swim across the river, or they would receive a firm smack across their backside when they returned. As Milwaukee grew, so did the popularity of Rohn's swimming school. Mr. Rohn and his staff taught nearly 8,000 pupils in the first 52 years. Rohn's did not only offer lessons, but they also offered open swimming too. This consisted of mainly German families who spent their weekends and holidays at Rohn's. Rohn's was open from June 1st to mid-September. They had bathhouses with bars and lunch counters, but gave those up eventually as bathing was accessible in the home. These are pictures of bathhouse scenes from Gordon Park, just to represent what it would look like back then. In 1908, Wisconsin Lakes Ice and Cartage Company bought Rohn's bathhouses and industrialized them. This is the largest ice dealer in Wisconsin. In 1929, they expanded to fuel and oil and gasoline, and in the 60s, renamed themselves the Hometown Incorporated. In 2005, they sold their ice manufacturing to Arctic Glacier Incorporated. Since the exact location of Rohn Swimming School is unknown due to the changes in the area, especially the narrowing of the Milwaukee River, it can be generalized to Riverside Park. In 1865, this park, designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, who was also the designer of Central Park, was 25 acres. The only problem with the park was that there was railroads that cut the property in half, but they created a tunnel underpass beneath the tracks. This can still be seen today. In 1991, residents founded Riverside Urban Environmental Center in response to growing crime, pollution, and invasive species in Riverside Park. 13 years later, in 2004, the Urban Ecology Center opened. This is intended to be used as an outdoor classroom for the general public to learn about their environment. It is also used to protect this land. Currently, the Milwaukee River and Oak Leaf Trail run through the Riverside Park. The past 7 pictures are what Riverside Park looks like today. Recently, in September of 2013, a 40-acre arboretum was put into place in this area. The swimming school no longer exists. It is still an area for recreation. People walk their dogs, run, and ride their bikes. Riverside Park is also a place where people can connect with nature. Back then, people swam in the river. Now they can sit and enjoy the peace of it. Like back in the day when people would make memories at the swimming school of their children swimming or just hanging out, people can still make memories at Riverside Park.
And let's go to Katie Pavlik, who's at a press conference held by students at Alverno who have done a lot of research on this place.
Describe what this place looks like.
When I first went there were a lot of trees surrounding the river, and then it was pretty much open, and there were hiking and biking trails along.
Yeah, there wasn't many people there when I went, and it's kind of just a place for people to go. Saw people walking their dogs.
Yeah, when I went, it was cold out, kind of rainy, so there wasn't that many people out, but during the summer it could have a different atmosphere because people want to be outside in the summer.
And how did this place make you feel the first time you were there?
When I first went, I just felt like all the openness and just felt connected to nature.
Well, I had been to the Urban Ecology Center before like this project, and I didn't know there was so much history behind it, so it was kind of cool just seeing that there was actually a place there before, and now it's kind of just a place for people to be, not really set things to do there.
Yeah, knowing that there's so much history behind it, and now going and there's not really a set building or anything, it kind of gives you an eerie feeling and nostalgic feeling to look back and think of how this place used to be.
What are the racial, economic, and gender aspects of this place?
The racial aspect of the place was that it was predominantly white, but now it's kind of transforming into being a public place where anyone can pretty much go to.
Well, back when it was like becoming a swimming school, the lessons were about $10 a person. So today it would be about like $250. So minorities wouldn't usually be able to like afford the lessons, but now that it's going back to its original form, it's like city of Milwaukee like owns it. It's a public place. Anybody can go there, so
More
it doesn't really
diverse.
matter. Yeah.
And then the gender, back then for swimming lessons, it was segregated between the women and men. The women would swim completely separate from the men. Now, today, no one really even swims in the river, but anyone can use the park. Anyone can go, and they're not segregated. It's for men and women.
What are the diverse and complex values that are communicated through this place?
Well, since it started as a swimming school, which was used for recreation and leisure, and then was briefly used for a business, a nice business, and industrialization, and then is returning back to its leisure and recreation because it is a park. I think it really emphasizes that leisure and recreation, a place to do that, is very important, and it really shows that that's what's valued here in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and it really goes back to Tim Cresswell's viewpoint of social construction of place. Like, a place doesn't have a certain meaning, so the people that are in power that kind of like make a place. So Julius Rohn, in our case, he decided that it was going to be for everyone, like to swim. It's going to be for leisure, you know.
Yeah, and then when it was turned into the area for the ice company, then it was the company that bought that said that no, this is for work and this is for our business, and that's what changed that construction of place.
And now it's returning back to its natural form, which relates to Tim Cresswell's progressive sense of place. Like, it used to, when it was industrialized, it was a place where people would just go to work to make a living off of. And now it's just going back to its natural form as a public park, so people can just like go there, relax, exercise, and just like make memories like how it used to be.
Hi, I'm Katie Padlick, reporting to you live from AX210 News. I had the opportunity to talk to a couple locals from Milwaukee. Mary Jean Heinen and Kathy Mentowski both did not express any personal emotion to this place, but remember other natatoriums, but not specifically Rohns Swimming School. I also had the chance to talk to Catherine Irwin. She had no recollection of Rohns at all, and also didn't know there was history behind Riverside Park and the Urban Ecology Center. She was grateful to know the new information and was excited to share with her family the history of this place.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to AX210 News. I'm Danielle Hood.